Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing my new recipe today. It's going to be for beef stew, and I'm also going to do a barbecue beef skewer. It's for the new sauce I'm bringing out. It's for the Rich Recipes sauce. So what I've done is I've actually boiled some diced beef. I got it off my local butcher, and we've boiled it up for about 45 minutes to about an hour. It's really good to use cheap cuts because they're cheap, and because we're boiling them, all we're doing is we're going to soften them up, and then we're going to add in flavour later on. I'll show you what I mean. Like this piece of beef here. Now, the way to tell you it's a good time to start to cook with it, is if you use the back part of the knife, and if you can break through it on the back part of the knife, it's perfect for use. Okay, so over here is I've got for the stew, I got some turnips, carrots, onions, parsnips, and I'm going to use some fresh herbs with them. And then for the barbecue skewers, I'm going to use onion and yellow pepper. So we're going to do both recipes together, and I'll show you how easy it is to work. With the stew, it's going to be a bit different because I'm going to finish the stew at the end using the barbecue sauce. You probably never have seen, but it's a great little trick. We use barbecue sauce, ketchup and mustard in a mixture. So I'm just going to start cooking away on the stew first. I'm going to let these drop of oil. I'm just going to add in a bit of garlic first. See this garlic here? I get this from Aldi. It's brilliant. You freeze it. You just use it when you want. It's just a great product to use, especially when you're cooking it. I don't have much time. So we add in our garlic pieces there. Just let the oil heat up a bit more. In the meantime, what we're going to do is, with this beef, just move this out of the way for a second. We're going to take out some large pieces that we can use on the skewers. So, just the bigger types pieces that we can use, the skewer will go through easy. And then, like I have these skewers here. Normally we'd use them for bigger pieces of beef, but we'll just use it for this for now. It works out perfect. So I'm just getting the pieces that are bigger. The nice pieces there. So I'm just take this out. I'm going to do 2 skewers, but you can do this as many as you want. Because once the beef is this very soft, as I sit and show you, it's soft to the touch, but it doesn't break up, not yet. Because we can do the rest of the cooking with the rest of the vegetables. But as I said, this is brilliant for cheap cuts of beef. So I'll just go through it. As you hear in the background, the garlic is starting to cook away there. So I'm going to add in now. So there's a couple more pieces. I like the beef skewers. So, you hear in the background, so as I said, we have our vegetables, so I'm just putting those in, fry away. This raw vegetables going straight in. An onion, 2 carrots, parsnip, about a quarter of a turnip. You get the smell already from the garlic. And through it. At this point, cracked pepper. A little salt. Sorry, let's move this out of the way. So you can see, my apologies. I've been this over here so I can bring it where you can easily see with that. So, Let that cook away. Now over here, some rosemary. So I put some fresh rosemary, some fresh thyme. After plant it, I keep a plant in the window. The thyme and rosemary, so much fresher. Break them up a little bit. So you cook it away. Once the onions and all start to sweat, the red goes through. Let's start to do again. So you're going to start add the beef. So I have the juice off the beef here, and I have the beef just gone in. So just let that cook away. I've no sauce or anything gone into it yet. So I'm just letting little bits of juice come off the beef. Just cook that out for a few minutes. Now I'm going to start on the skewers. So over here, bring it back here, is we have our pepper. Those. So that's the peppers. Peppers in there. We're going to keep on stirring this as we go. Cooking away nicely there. Okay, so now it's running. Top and tails. Skim off. Now some people might say it's wasting a bit for the camera. So what I do is we'll cut them just down in half. Cut them in half. Throw this out. Cook this away some of it. Still the beef. You see, it's cooking away. Nice there. So in the meantime, we break up our onion. Small pieces, and then you just build up your skewer. So we start with an onion going through, piece of beef going through it, an extra piece of beef going through it, and pepper, piece of beef, some onion, some pepper, and you just keep on doing this as you go. Pepper, more beef, and depending on which beef you have, you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. This is only for one portion, so I have 2 of those to make. And in the meantime, this is starting to sweat off nicely, as you see there. Okay, so what we'll do here now is juice from the beef. We'll add in some of it, just till it's barely up to the top of where the stew is cooking. So it's just barely to the very top of where the meat and the veg is. Just let that cook out for a few minutes while we finish off making this other skewer. So I'm just going to put you on hold now while I just make the other skewer and I'll get the other stuff ready. Give me 1 second. Okay, getting back to now. The vegetables are cooking off. I made my second skewer. So all in all, it's about 45 minutes to cook off the meat. As I said, use the back of the knife to pressurise it down. If it goes through the meat, it's just ready. And it's perfect for anything that you want to use it for. As I said, the ones today we're going to do is the beef skewer. And we also have the stew. So the beef skewer we're going to do first. You can do this either 2 ways. You can either put the barbecue sauce on the beef before you start the skewers, or you can do it after, whichever way suits yourself. It's more messy beforehand, but you can do it that way, whichever way you want. So basically I'll just put them in the pan. Try and lift this pan up. I'll lift it up now in a second. So we have the sauce coming out. Goes down over the meat. 1, 2, 3. And the good thing about this sauce is sugar based, so the more it's in the grill, the more it's going to caramelise up around the beef. So we have it all there. This is on the beef. So you can actually make these in the morning time, these skewers, and they'll be perfectly good for later on, because the way I do is you give them a small bit of a heat in the oven first, and then put the barbecue sauce on them, because what I'll do is the bit of heat will soften up the meat for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish these under the grill. So that's them there, just nicely done. Just wipe them in the barbecue sauce, get them all nice and sticky all over them. So that's that one. As I said, they're pure easy to make. I just cook off the beef, start skewing them up, sauce over them, and underneath go stir fry rice or anything like that. Go perfectly. So I'm going to put them underneath, and actually put them underneath the grill. I'm not putting them in the oven. So I'm just going to roast them down like that, and then I'm just going to turn them every few minutes. In the meantime, okay, we have our beef stew cooking away. As you see there, you get all the smells and beef and the whole lot. Okay, now this is where you're going to find this a little bit crazy. So I'm going to add in a little bit more water. Let's put it here. Add a bit more water into it from the beef that was cooking originally. Okay. So just get that water going around. At this point, now you're going to find this a little bit strange. I introduce 3 boils, barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard. Okay, barbecue sauce, I'll give it a deep smoky flavour. Okay, so you're putting it in, and you throw all your old mother's rule books out the door now when you're doing this, because this works and it's absolutely beautiful. So you put your barbecue sauce in, about 3 or 4 teaspoons, or tablespoons I should say. Okay, ketchup, squeeze it down. Small pot like this, I'll put probably 2 spoons of it, so maybe 2.5. Now what the ketchup does, it's put a nice tomato base into it, but also put a little bit of sugar into it. So through the smokiness, we're going to get the smokiness coming through, and we're going to get the tomato, and then for a little bit of sharpness, we're doing a bit of mustard. Just a spoon to a small pot. Now depending on how you like the sauce, here it goes. So you mix that in, automatically you'll smell the mustard, the ketchup and the barbecue sauce mixing together. Okay, put the rest of the juice in off. So I wasted nothing from the juice from cooking the beef originally. Is you just put in enough meat and then you put twice the amount of water in on top of it. Just let it cook itself out. Depending on what you use round steak, it cooks a lot quicker than it would some of the other cuts, the shin cuts or whatever like that. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back up to the boil. And I swear to God, this recipe is very, very good. You get great compliments with this recipe. And I know it's strange and I know it's weird that you're using your mustard, more importantly, barbecue sauce, and your ketchup. So, okay, in the meantime now we're going to have a look at, see how the beef's doing, the skewers. We're just getting there. It's going to take a few minutes. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to bring the beef back up to a boil. It should only take a couple of seconds to do, or a couple of minutes. Give it like this. Let this cook away there. So I want to bring this bit back up to the boil. Now, as I said, once you have the beef cooked, you can have that done the day before. You can have the veg made the day before. You just bring the beef up to use the back of the knife. Press it down, it works perfect every time. The skewered beef, you do beef stir fry, you can get any cut of beef, right, cheap cut. As long as you do it like this, it works in everything. So, see our skewers. Now, so, you can see these now. So I'm just going to turn these around. So you just keep on turning them every 5 minutes or so. So you could have 20 or 10 in there, say. Maybe turn them as you're cooking your rice or you're doing whatever other bits of veg or stuff like that. Even for your barbecue on the summer, you could have all that ready. Just on the barbecue with the sauce on it. Absolutely beautiful. So this is just cooking away. At this point now we just test for salt and pepper. It's gorgeous. Salt. Bit of pepper. Now at this point earlier on I cooked off some potatoes, or I was cooking potatoes for the family. So they said I cook a few extra, I always cook extra potatoes. Because you can always keep them in the fridge and you can always use them other stuff, especially if you're doing stuff like this. Instead of having to go recook stuff out, potatoes will last 2-3 days in the fridge, no problem. So if you're doing something on Monday with potatoes and you say, oh, I'm going to do stew Wednesday, cook more potatoes, have them in the fridge. So just chop these up in small pieces. Say the stew is getting there, just ready. And all I want these are just going to sit there. It's going to be like a sponge, and then I'm just going to let them sit in it once I finish it off. Now, the other simple thing, fish and stew. Gravy granules, best thing ever. Smell what anyone tells you. And you can actually get the normal ones which are gluten free. All depends on which way you want. So it's easy done gluten free. But now it's come to a boil. So all you hear is, you can actually smell you can smell these now. You can start to see them steaming, and you can see that start to colour a bit more. Throw a bit more taste on them. Off you go. A bit more off you go there. Ah, lovely. Now lads, if you're when you're cooking use this stuff, you owe me a point. So, right, let's go back to the stew. Okay, so I'll get a little small whisker. Okay, so I'll bring this back across. All I'm doing here is bring it up, stir the gravy granules in slowly. To get a nice gravy coming there now. Yeah, it's going to get thicker. And watch out you don't use too much, because it'll get thicker and thicker as the more it cooks out. Because this is just coming off and it's boiling. You see there now, it's starting to get thick already. So you don't need much. I only sprinkle in a little bit there now. So depending on how thick you like your sauce, but that's just lovely. Because what's going to happen here now as well is when I add in the potatoes, they're going to go down and they're going to suck up a lot of the juices, so it'll actually thicken as well. The potatoes will actually make it thicken. It's lovely and soft. So now you see there, the gravy just a little bit more maybe, and we then turn the grill down right down low to put on number 1. Let it cool down, small bit, and let that just cook out and stir it maybe about 5 minutes or so. And the full pot stew, just absolutely gorgeous. And try it with the ketchup, more importantly barbecue sauce, and a spoon of the mustard. And I guarantee you, you'll never have tasted something like it. Or even try it with the families and don't tell them and wait for the reaction. Okay, so our next thing is we'll take in the stew in here. And when you have something nice, place those two out there. Gorgeous. So, people, I'm going to bring you up, show you really close. There is the barbecue skewers, piping hot, drizzled with the barbecue sauce, and you can smell them, they're beautiful. Pure easy, nice and simple, and cheap to make. You could have 10 there for the amount of beef that I had there today. I got £2 of beef off my local butcher, and it worked out lovely. And over here then is we have stew coming down, absolutely gorgeous, full to the brim, pure easy to make. You can make it in the morning, just reheat it up in the afternoon, and I guarantee you it is absolutely beautiful. So there's my lesson, there's my video for my new sauce, Richies recipes, barbecue sauce. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks, bye.